My child, give me just a few moments of your time. Please do not scroll away. I know the storm around you is raging, and I know how desperately your soul needs to hear this exact message right now. You didn't plan to stop here. You were just passing through, trying to find a momentary distraction from the heavy winds and crashing waves that have been battering your life. You are exhausted. You are tired of looking at the dark clouds, wondering if you will ever see the sun again. But this moment, this very second, is a divine interruption. Heaven itself has paused to place this message right in front of your eyes, not by mistake, not by accident, but by divine design. This is not a coincidence. I am the one speaking to you now. I am Jesus, and I have orchestrated this encounter because I see you struggling to keep your head above water. You have been fighting this storm for so long that your arms are tired, your spirit is weary, and your hope is hanging by a fragile thread. You have smiled for the world while silently drowning inside. You have whispered, "Lord, when will this end?" in the dead of night, while the rain of sorrow soaked your pillow. I see it all, my beloved. I saw every tear that fell when you thought no one was watching. I heard every silent cry that never made it past your lips. You have felt completely abandoned in the middle of this tempest. You have looked at the lightning and heard the thunder, believing that I had left you to fight the elements all alone. You thought my silence during the fiercest parts of your storm meant that I had forgotten you, or worse, that you were being punished. But hear me clearly today. My silence was never my absence. I was there. I was in the boat with you the entire time. When the winds howled the loudest, I was the unseen anchor, keeping you from being swept away. You thought it was your own sheer willpower keeping you alive, but it was my hand holding you tight. You survived the darkest nights because my grace was the invisible shield wrapping around you. Listen carefully, my child, because what I am saying to you now carries the weight of heaven. Every distraction, every urge to scroll away is the enemy, trying to steal what I have prepared for you in this moment. Do not let him. Stay still for just a little longer. Let these words sink deeper than your thoughts. Let them be the calm to your chaos, because I am here to tell you something that will change everything. The winds are shifting. The storm is finally passing. I know how deeply tired you are. I see the exhaustion you hide behind your brave smile. You have been carrying a burden that was never meant for your shoulders, and it has left you feeling spiritually fatigued and entirely drained. When the fierce winds of this storm ripped away your comfort, your carefully laid plans, and even people you trusted, you felt completely exposed and vulnerable. You wondered why I allowed the heavy rain to fall so hard on your life. You asked me over and over in your secret moments, "Lord, why did you let this happen? Why didn't you stop it before it broke my heart into pieces?" My precious child, I hear those questions. I have felt every single wave of disappointment that crashed over your chest. You thought the storm was sent to destroy you, but I want to reveal a truth that the enemy desperately wants to keep hidden from you. The storm was not meant to break you. It was allowed to build you. The winds that felt so violent and cruel were actually blowing away the things, the habits, and the connections that could not sustain your future. The heavy rain was washing away the foundations built on sand so that I could rebuild your life on solid rock. You thought my delay was a denial of your prayers. You believed that because I did not calm the raging waters immediately, I did not care about your suffering. But my beloved, my silence was never my absence. My silence was preparation. I was using the very elements that you thought were tearing your life apart to forge an unshakable strength deep within your spirit. I was refining your faith in the fire, teaching you how to stand tall when everything else falls apart. Do not believe the lies of the enemy. He whispers in your ear that you are going to drown, that this storm will be your ultimate end, and that your best days are washed away forever. But I declare over you today, fear is not your future. The enemy cannot stop what I have planned for you. What feels like a devastating ending right now is actually the exact place where I am birthing a miraculous new beginning. You have survived the worst of it, not because of your own power, but because I never let go of your hand. You have built heavy walls around your heart, thinking they would keep you safe from the harsh winds of this world. You have tried to fix things in your own strength, attempting to keep control, even when your life made absolutely no sense. You have carried crushing burdens that were never meant for your shoulders. But I am asking you right now, in this sacred stillness, to let go. You do not have to hold it all together anymore. I am here to take the heavy weight from your hands. I am the absolute peace your weary heart has been desperately searching for. I know there are moments when you look in the mirror and you only see your scars, your failures, and the pieces of your life that feel broken beyond repair. The enemy has whispered toxic lies into your mind, telling you that you are not enough, that you are permanently forgotten, and that the deep pain you carry is all you will ever know. He wants you distracted by fear and anxiety so that you miss the miraculous breakthrough that is standing right at your door. But I am telling you today, do not believe those lies. Fear is not your future. The enemy cannot stop what I have already ordained and planned for you. You are my masterpiece. You are not a mistake, and you are never an afterthought. Every single part of you was designed intentionally by my loving hands. When I look at you, I do not see the past mistakes you think define you. I see a beautiful heart that has endured so much and still beats with hope, however faint. I see someone who has been deeply bruised but not broken, profoundly weary but not destroyed. I see the one I love, the one I sacrificed everything for, the one I have never, ever abandoned. So breathe, my precious child. Take a deep breath right now and feel my comforting presence wrapping around you. The storm is losing its violent power. The dark, heavy clouds that hovered over your mind are finally beginning to part. What felt like an endless, lonely night is about to surrender to the morning dawn. I am stepping into your exact situation, and I am speaking peace, be still, over the chaotic waters of your life. A completely new season is about to begin. I am speaking a new season into your life right now. The heavy winds that tried to knock you down are turning into a gentle breeze that will push you forward into your destiny. I know that right now you might be looking around at the scattered pieces of your life, wondering how things can ever be put back together. The enemy is actively trying to make you doubt this glorious shift. He wants you to overthink every detail, to stay trapped in crippling anxiety, and to believe that the damage from the storm is permanent. But hear me clearly, my child. Do not believe the lies. The enemy cannot stop what I have planned for you. What was stolen from you during this dark and exhausting season will be completely restored. I am a God of ultimate restoration, and I do not just put broken things back together. I make them better, stronger, and far more beautiful than they ever were before. Your waiting season is officially ending. You thought the prolonged delay meant I was denying your heartfelt prayers, but what was delayed was not denied. The waiting was preparation. I was meticulously aligning the right people, the right opportunities, and the exact right moments in the unseen realm, so that when I open the door for you, no one will ever be able to shut it. A profound shift is coming, and your breakthrough is near. You have walked through days that simply blurred together, waking up with a heart that feels far older than your years, silently wondering if life will always feel this heavy and complicated. You smiled for others, gave advice you could barely believe for yourself, and nodded while your soul whispered that something inside was breaking. but the pain you survived was shaping you, not destroying you. It is time to completely release the bitterness, the exhaustion, and the fear that the storm left behind. Trust me fully as we step into this new chapter. I am opening doors that have been tightly locked for years. You are about to step into a season of unprecedented favor, profound healing, and overwhelming peace. I am turning your long nights of weeping into mornings of unimaginable joy. Keep your eyes entirely on me, my beloved, because the storm is finally passing, and the beautiful, radiant light of your new dawn is breaking through the clouds. I know that even as the storm begins to pass, the lingering echoes of the thunder still ring in your ears. The enemy sees the beautiful peace I am bringing into your life, and he is absolutely terrified. He knows that he could not destroy you in the tempest, so now he will try to distract you in the calm. He will aggressively whisper that this peace is only temporary, that another violent storm is just around the corner, and that you should remain anxious, guarded, and afraid. But I'm telling you right now, with the authority of heaven, do not believe the lies. The enemy wants you distracted. He wants you constantly looking backward at the destruction, rather than looking forward at the glorious restoration I am bringing. Listen closely to my voice, my beloved child. You must actively choose to silence the toxic noise of doubt and tune your weary heart entirely to my frequency. The waiting was preparation, and what was delayed was not denied. You survived because I never let go. The enemy cannot stop what I planned for you. You have spent so much time believing you were irreparably broken, but you are not broken. You are chosen. You are deeply loved, held by grace, and fiercely protected. The world may have made you feel invisible, but to me, you are the apple of my eye. Do you know what happens after a severe storm? The hard ground is softened, making it the perfect condition for new seeds to take root and grow. The heavy rain that you thought was washing away your life was actually watering the soil of your future. You're about to see miraculous growth in areas of your life that have been barren for years. But to receive this, you must release the trauma of the storm. You do not have to carry this alone. I was holding you when you thought you would break, and I will continue to hold you as you heal. Stay close to me in prayer. Let my words wash over your weary spirit and completely restore your soul. You are a beloved child, chosen, worthy, and deeply loved. The battle did not destroy you. It only revealed how strong I am within you. Trust me as we walk into this radiant sunlight together. The storm is finally passing, and the beautiful, abundant life I have promised you is beginning right now. Keep your faith firmly anchored in my eternal promises. My precious child, look into my eyes right now. I want you to look past the debris of the storm and see yourself the way I see you. For too long you have allowed the harsh winds, the failures, and the labels of this world to define your worth. You have listened to the whispers of human rejection and equated it with divine absence. You thought that because people walked away from you when life grew difficult, I had walked away too. But I am not like them. I do not pack up and leave when the clouds roll in, and I do not turn away when you feel completely unworthy of my love. I stayed through every lightning strike, every sleepless night, and every tearful breakdown. Today, I am initiating a total restoration of your identity. I am stripping away the heavy garments of shame, guilt, and inadequacy that the enemy forced upon you during the tempest. You have been walking around carrying the identity of a victim, a casualty of the storm, but I call you a conqueror. You are my masterpiece, designed intentionally by my own hands with an eternal purpose that no earthly trial can ever erase. The scars you carry are not shameful marks of your failure. They are the glorious proof of your survival. They are the physical reminders that what was meticulously sent by the enemy to destroy you ultimately failed because my hand was shielding you. Do not let overthinking rob you of this sacred moment. The enemy wants you to stay distracted, looking down at your wounds, wondering if you are good enough or strong enough to step into the sunlight. But your value is not based on your performance or how perfectly you handled the pain. Your value is rooted entirely in my unchanging nature. I loved you before you knew my name, and I love you intensely right now in your weariness. Let my grace wash away the residual fear. Stand tall, my beloved child, because you are chosen. You are deeply loved, and your true story is only just beginning. The storm is finally passing, and your royal identity is being fully restored. My child, let us sit together in this quiet space for a moment longer. I want to talk to you about the heavy sighs you've been releasing when you think no one is listening. Have you noticed how your shoulders have naturally rounded forward, as if they are trying to shield your heart from another sudden blow? Have you felt that tight, restricting pressure in your chest every time you try to take a deep, clear breath? You think these are just physical signs of everyday tiredness, but I see them for what they truly are. Those long, heavy sighs are the profound language of a soul that has completely run out of human words. They are the unspoken prayers of a spirit that has been compressed by the absolute weight of this relentless storm. You have spent months feeling utterly disconnected from the world around you. You watched from the dark shadows as other people walked casually in the vibrant sunshine, celebrating their victories, while you were stuck battling a devastating downpour that seemed to have no end. You asked yourself in quiet desperation, why is my path so uniquely painful? Why does everyone else seem to move forward effortlessly, while I am left here drowning in isolation? The enemy used that overwhelming loneliness to whisper his most toxic deception into your mind. He told you that your isolation was a definitive sign of my rejection. He wanted you to believe that you were cast aside because you lacked faith, or because you were simply not worthy of my protective grace. But I want you to hear my truth right now, cutting through the thick fog of your anxiety. Your season of isolation was never a punishment. It was a holy, divine segregation. I allowed the heavy winds of the storm to close certain doors and separate you from the noisy, distracting crowds because I needed your undivided attention. I needed to pull you away from relationships that were quietly draining your spiritual oil. I needed a sacred, uninterrupted space where I could perform a deep, microscopic surgery on your heart, healing wounds that you had buried so deeply you forgot they were even there. The enemy completely miscalculated this season. He thought the isolation would break your spirit and make you surrender. But I used the quietness of the tempest to weave an unbreakable resilience directly into your character. You are coming out of this storm with a depth of wisdom, a purity of faith, and a weight of spiritual authority that you could have never developed in the easy, comfortable sunshine. Feel the crushing weight lifting off your tired shoulders right now. Release that old anxiety. Let go of the residual fear of being abandoned and breathe in my supernatural peace. The enemy is completely powerless to stop the magnificent breakthrough I have already set in motion for you. Stand firmly, hold your head high, and listen to the rhythmic shifting of the winds. The storm is finally passing, and your season of isolation is turning into a glorious season of public favor and divine elevation. My child, let us lean even closer now. I want you to look honestly at another hidden ache you have been carrying through this tempest, the painful fear of lost time. I know that as you sit here listening to my voice, a quiet panic occasionally grips your chest when you look at the calendar or notice the subtle lines etched around your eyes. You feel as though this storm has robbed you of your youth, your energy, and your best opportunities. The enemy has been using the sheer duration of this trial to whisper a paralyzing lie into your spirit. He whispers, "Look at how many years you have wasted simply trying to survive. Look at how much time has passed while you were trapped in the dark. You are too far behind now. Your best years are gone, and you can never catch up to the dreams you once held." Hear me clearly right now, my beloved. Do not believe those toxic lies. The enemy is desperately trying to keep you trapped in an exhausting cycle of regret, so that you remain completely blind to the supernatural acceleration I am about to release into your life. The waiting was preparation, and the delay was never a denial. I want to completely reframe how you view time. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the creator of time itself, and I am never, ever bound by the limits of human clocks or earthly calendars. What looks like wasted time to you was actually a season where I was hiding you beneath the shadow of my wings, protecting you from hidden battles you didn't even know were coming, and refining your spirit in the quiet fire. I am about to invoke the law of divine compensation over your life. I am the God who can do more in a single moment of my favor than you could ever accomplish in a lifetime of human striving. I can collapse decades of struggle into days of miraculous breakthrough. I am restoring the years that the locusts of adversity have eaten away from you. The joy, the peace, the health, and the opportunities that you thought were permanently buried in the debris of the storm are being resurrected right now. You are not arriving late. You are arriving exactly on my perfect, sovereign schedule. The enemy cannot stop what I have already planned and established for your future. Let the heavy anxiety about your age or your past completely dissolve in my presence. Lift your head, quiet your racing mind, and take a deep, clear breath. The storm is finally passing, and your season of divine acceleration and total restoration has officially arrived. My precious child, let us look even deeper into the quiet, hidden chambers of your heart today. I want you to pay close attention to how your eyes have grown heavy, not just from a lack of physical sleep, but from a profound, deep-seated tiredness of the soul. You have spent weeks, months, and perhaps even years watching every single horizon, constantly bracing yourself for the next wave of bad news, the next sudden betrayal, or the next overwhelming disappointment. Your mind has been trapped in a state of perpetual warfare, always on guard, always waiting for the other shoe to drop. You have completely forgotten what it feels like to truly rest without a subtle fear whispering in the back of your mind. But look closely at my hands right now. I am stepping directly into that internal battlefield, and I am putting an end to the constant state of alarm. The enemy has tried to use this long, drawn-out storm to condition you into believing that chaos is your permanent home. He wants you to become so familiar with survival mode that you completely lose the capacity to imagine a life of abundance, joy, and peace. He whispers that even if this current storm passes, you will always be a broken person, forever fragile and permanently damaged by what you went through. Hear my truth today, shattering that deceptive illusion. The fire did not burn away your destiny. It only consumed the impurities that were holding you back. You are not fragile. The very fact that you are sitting here, breathing, and listening to my voice, after everything that tried to wipe you out, is the ultimate living proof of your supernatural resilience. I have been rebuilding your internal architecture in the dark. Every time your heart broke, I added a new layer of divine strength. Every time you were forced to cry out in absolute vulnerability, I poured a new measure of my heavy anointing into your spirit. What the world discarded as a ruined mess, I see as a beautifully seasoned vessel, ready to be filled with the maximum capacity of my glory. Your pain was not a meaningless accident. It was a setup for a massive testimony. The people who watched you suffer in the downpour are about to watch you walk in the harvest of my favor. The waiting season is officially over, and the shift is completely irreversible. The enemy is completely powerless to stop the glorious manifestation of what I have written in your heavenly calendar. Rest your weary mind, quiet your racing pulse, and let my perfect love drive out every lingering trace of anxiety. The storm is finally passing, and the ground beneath your feet is completely secure. My beloved child, let us move deeper into another layer of the healing I am performing within you today. I want to speak directly to the quiet ache that tightens in your throat and the heavy knot that forms in your stomach whenever you remember the people who walked out of your life when the downpour became too intense. You see, the storm didn't just bring heavy winds and dark clouds, it brought a severe shifting of your relationships. You watched in absolute heartbreak as people you loved, people you fiercely supported, and people you trusted with your deepest vulnerabilities suddenly turned their backs on you when the waters began to rise. They left you to battle the crashing waves all alone, and the sting of their abandonment felt far more painful than the storm itself. The enemy has used their rejection to torment your mind in the quiet hours of the night. He whispers that you are fundamentally unlovable, that you are too difficult to hold on to, and that there is something inherently wrong with you that causes people to always leave you behind. But hear my voice today, shattering those heavy chains of rejection. You did not lose them. I removed them. I allowed the heavy winds of this tempest to shake your life so violently because I was systematically filtering your circle. I saw that their hearts were not pure and their motives were not aligned with the magnificent future I have written for you. They were comfortable enjoying your light, but they were never equipped to endure your darkness or protect your soul in the struggle. If I had left them in your life, they would have eventually compromised the divine breakthrough I am about to release. The storm acted as a supernatural sieve, separating the temporary, seasonal attachments from the eternal, kingdom-aligned connections I am preparing for you. I need you to completely release the painful obsession with trying to understand why they did what they did. Let go of the burning desire for an apology you will never receive, and stop looking back at the empty spaces they left behind. I'm filling those empty spaces right now with the maximum overflow of my presence, my comfort, and my supernatural peace. I am healing the deep lacerations left by human betrayal, and I am rewriting your story with a beauty that will leave you completely breathless. The enemy is entirely powerless to keep you trapped in the trauma of yesterday. Take a long, deep breath and let your jaw finally relax. The heavy winds are shifting, the toxic filters are complete, the storm is finally passing, and you are stepping into a radiant season of authentic love, deep honor, and ultimate divine restoration. My child, look down at your hands for a moment. Do you notice the subtle, lingering tension locked within your fingers, the deep fatigue in your palms, or the cold stiffness that settles into your joints when the night grows quiet? You have used these hands to work tirelessly, to hold together the crumbling pieces of your life, and to wipe away your own secret tears. You have stretched them out in absolute desperation, crying out, "Lord, when will you provide? How much longer must I scrimp, save, and survive on nothing but crumbs?" I know the crushing weight of financial distress and the silent terror of lack that has been stalking you through this relentless tempest. You have looked at your dwindling resources, your piling obligations, and your empty accounts, feeling a profound sense of panic tightening around your throat. The enemy has used this material drought to assault your dignity, whispering malicious lies that you have been abandoned to poverty, that your hard work will never bear fruit, and that you are destined to lose everything you have ever built. But I am here today to completely break the spirit of lack and scarcity over your life. Hear my sovereign voice cutting through your panic. I did not allow your temporary streams to dry up to punish or starve you. I allowed those earthly wells to dry up because they were far too small for the massive overflowing inheritance I am preparing to pour into your life. I am shifting you from the exhausting cycle of survival into the supernatural realm of kingdom abundance. The heavy rain of this storm was not just a symbol of sorrow. It was the divine irrigation necessary to prepare the ground for a harvest of unprecedented favor and sudden breakthrough. I am systematically opening doors of provision that no human authority or economic shift can ever shut. You will no longer have to beg, worry, or stay awake counting pennies in the dark. I am aligning unexpected resources, divine realignments, and sudden miracles in the unseen realm that will completely erase years of lack in a single day. The enemy cannot stop the release of the blessings that have been stored up for you in heaven's treasury. Let the tension melt completely out of your hands right now. Open your palms, quiet your racing heart, and prepare your spirit to receive. The storm is finally passing, and the golden sunlight of your financial and spiritual overflow is breaking beautifully through the clouds. My child, lean in close once more. I want to look directly into the windows of your soul, at those eyes that used to sparkle with vibrant dreams and innocent wonder, but have recently grown dull, guarded, and heavy with a deep, unspeakable sorrow. I know exactly how the endless weight of this storm has slowly eroded your capacity to feel genuine joy. You have forgotten what it feels like to laugh without a sudden wave of guilt or anxiety holding you back. You have forgotten what it feels like to wake up in the morning with a sense of passionate anticipation rather than a heavy, paralyzing dread of what adversity the day might throw at you. The enemy has used the sheer dryness of this prolonged wilderness to systematically sap your spiritual fire, whispering that your passion is permanently dead, that your heart has turned to cold stone, and that you are destined to spend the rest of your earthly days merely going through the motions of an empty, colorless existence. But hear my sovereign voice cutting through that heavy fog of depression today. Your fire is not dead. It is merely covered by the thick ash of the fierce battle you just survived. I am breathing my supernatural holy breath over your spirit right now, blowing away the soot of grief, disappointment, and systemic exhaustion. I am rekindling the divine flame of purpose that I personally placed deep inside you before the foundation of the world. The storm was allowed to test your structural endurance, but it was never given permission to extinguish your light. The enemy thought he could permanently drown your praise and silence your voice in the downpour, but I am setting a new song of absolute victory within your heart that will shake the very foundations of darkness around you. I am systematically breaking the spirit of heaviness that has wrapped itself around your mind like a suffocating blanket. I am exchanging your mourning for a garment of beautiful praise, and your broken spirit for an unshakable mantle of divine joy. You are about to step into a season where genuine laughter will return to your home, where relationships will be infused with light, and where dreams you long buried because they hurt too much to look at will suddenly spring back to life with supernatural color, clarity, and vitality. The enemy is completely powerless to stop the massive wave of divine refreshment and emotional healing that I am releasing over you at this very moment. Trust my perfect timing, silence the overthinking whispers of your mind, and let my love fully restore the warmth to your soul. The long freezing winter of your spirit is officially over. The heavy storm is finally passing, and your radiant season of uncontainable joy and passionate purpose has beautifully begun. My beloved child, let us step quietly into the midnight hours of your mind, into those exhausting moments when the rest of the world is completely asleep. but you find yourself staring wide awake at the ceiling at 3 o'clock in the morning. I know the silent torment of those hours. I see how you toss and turn, your mind helplessly trapped in a relentless, exhausting loop of overthinking, replaying every painful conversation, every sudden betrayal, and every missed opportunity from this long storm. You clench your jaw so tightly in the dark that it aches, subconsciously trying to bite down on the screams of anxiety that threaten to overwhelm your spirit. In those heavy midnight hours, the enemy loves to stage his most aggressive mental warfare against you. He enters the quietness of your bedroom and brings a distorted video projector of your past failures, your deepest hurts, and the sharp voices of people who criticized or rejected you. He whispers into the cold darkness, "See, the storm may be passing, but your peace is permanently fractured. You will never sleep peacefully again. You are forever altered by the trauma, and the night will always belong to fear." But hear my sovereign, commanding voice shattering the midnight illusions of the enemy today. The night does not belong to fear. The night belongs to me. I am the Lord who guards your sleep, and I am putting an absolute end to the midnight psychological warfare that has been draining your vital life force. I did not allow you to survive the fierce winds of the tempest just to let the enemy slowly assassinate your peace in the quiet of your bed. The reason your mind has been waking up with a racing pulse at 3 a.m. is not because you are weak, and it is not because you are losing your mind. It is because your spirit has been in a hyper-vigilant state of survival for so long that it has forgotten how to safely let down its guard and rest in my arms. Today, I am personally unburdening your subconscious mind. I am placing my nail-scarred hand gently over your racing thoughts and whispering a supernatural stillness directly into your neural pathways. I am systematically deleting the toxic mental files of regret and overthinking that the enemy has been forcing you to review. You do not have to solve the complex mysteries of tomorrow in the dark hours of tonight. I am taking the weight of the future completely out of your thoughts. I am restoring your sleep, renewing your neurological rest, and ensuring that when you lie down, your slumber will be beautifully sweet, deep, and profoundly refreshing. The enemy is completely powerless to keep your mind locked in a prison of midnight anxiety. I want you to release the tight grip on your jaw right now. Let your neck relax, loosen the heavy tension in your chest, and let my perfect love wrap around you like a heavy, comforting blanket in the dark. The dark clouds of mental fatigue are breaking away. The midnight warfare is officially over. The storm is finally passing, and you are waking up to a beautiful morning of absolute mental clarity, supernatural peace, and divine emotional restoration. Trust me with your nights, my child. My child, stay completely still right here with me for just a few more moments. Do you feel the subtle, profound shift occurring in the very atmosphere around you right now? It is not merely a passing emotion, and it is not a figment of your imagination. It is the palpable, heavy presence of my Holy Spirit settling into the room where you are sitting. For months, the air around you has felt thick with tension, heavy with anxiety, and charged with the constant threat of sudden bad news. But right now, as my words enter your spirit, a divine tranquility is actively displacing the chaos. Your breathing is naturally slowing down. The tight knot of panic that has lived in your stomach for so long is finally untying itself, and a warm, protective embrace is wrapping around your tired heart. I want you to hear this with absolute clarity. Your breakthrough is no longer a distant, future promise that you have to endlessly beg for. The shift is happening right now, in this very second, as you listen to my voice. I have stepped onto the chaotic waters of your life, and I have drawn an absolute, divine boundary line in the spirit realm. I have looked directly at the enemy, at the sickness, at the financial distress, and at the relationship betrayals that have been terrorizing you. And I have declared with the supreme authority of heaven, enough, you have reached your absolute limit. You may go no further. The assignment of destruction over your life is being permanently cancelled right now. You thought this storm was going to leave you entirely broken and destitute, but I am using it to establish an unbreakable spiritual legacy. You see, you didn't just fight this battle for yourself. You fought it for your family, for your children, and for the future generations of your bloodline. Every tear of intercession you shed in the dark, every time you chose to stay faithful, when it hurt to breathe, you were systematically breaking generational curses of depression, lack, and abandonment that have plagued your family for decades. You have stood as a divine shield in the gap, and because you refuse to completely fold under the pressure, the storm is passing, and a glorious inheritance of peace, health, and abundant favor is being permanently sealed over your household. The enemy is completely powerless to reverse the structural blessings I am releasing into your life today. Let the last remnants of defensiveness drop from your shoulders. Relax your spirit fully into my sovereign care, because the winds have officially obeyed my command. The storm is finally passing, and you are stepping into a beautiful, secure future of absolute victory. My precious child, we have reached the final moments of this sacred encounter, but it is actually the very first step into your promised land. Look back one last time at the long journey we have traveled together through these words. We have excavated the deepest, most hidden chambers of your heart. The painful isolation, the agonizing fear of lost time, the crushing weight of financial lack, the deep scars of relational betrayal, the suffocation of depression, and the silent terrors of your midnight overthinking. Every single layer of your hidden torment has been brought out into the beautiful, healing light of my presence. And look at you now. You are still standing. The heavy armor of survival that you wore for so long is finally sliding off your shoulders, completely unneeded in the safety of my absolute calm. You have asked me in your private moments of deep heartbreak, why did you allow this to happen, Lord? If you love me so fiercely, why didn't you step in and stop the devastating rain from falling? I want you to know that I listened to every single one of those desperate questions with infinite, tender compassion. I never flinched at your raw frustration, and I never judged your aching doubt. But now, as the dark clouds completely dissolve into the brilliant morning sky, I am finally pulling back the veil to reveal what I was meticulously doing in the unseen realm while you were weeping. Hear my truth clearly, letting it anchor your soul forever. I was never ignoring you. I was intensely refining you. I was never withholding my goodness from your life. I was profoundly transforming your inner architecture. You could only see the chaotic surface, the shattered plans, the broken promises, and the scattered pieces of a life you thought was completely ruined. But from my heavenly vantage point, I saw an indestructible foundation being laid deep within your spirit. I allowed the earthly structures to break so that I could build something eternal, unshakable, and truly magnificent in their place. I am going to use every single drop of pain that hurt you to prepare a unique, powerful anointing that will heal millions of others through you. Your private survival is becoming a public roadmap of hope for an entire generation. I was sizing up your capacity, stretching your heart through the struggle so that it could carry a weight of favor, a depth of joy, and a magnitude of spiritual blessing far greater than you could have ever borne before the storm. The transition is fully complete. The enemy has lost his grip. The old timeline of lack and fear is permanently erased. The heavy storm is finally passing, and the beautiful, radiant dawn of your ultimate restoration has completely arrived. You are safe, you are chosen, you are fiercely loved, and you are finally home in my peace. If my mercy has completely changed everything for you today, open your heart and type, "I love you, Lord, beyond measure." Share this divine message of rescue with another weary soul who is still shivering out in the cold rain. Walk forward boldly into the sunlight, my beloved child, because your victory is permanently won.